Good morning. My name is not Conan O'Brien. This is Randy Newton. Nice to see you again. This morning I wanted to talk to you about the Affordable Care Act. That is the piece of legislation that is overhauling the American healthcare system that you heard so much about last year. Well, believe it or not, it's already in full force. It is here. The implications of the Affordable Care Act kicked in, that's past tense, already kicked in January 1st of this year of 2013. I'm talking to you today because I have a fear, a concern that way too many Americans and too many of my clients are under the misconception of either two things. One, they don't make enough money to be impacted by the tax provisions of the Affordable Care Act, so they're not worried about the tax aspects of this. Or, number two, it hasn't kicked in yet. It's something in the future. While it's true that the official mandate that every American obtain health insurance by the year 2014, that's the piece that went up to the Supreme Court to see if it was constitutional, and it was. That piece, that's true, doesn't kick in until 2014, but there are really sting points that kicked, past tense, in January 1st of 2013. These are the pieces I'm worried about for my clients because these are the pieces that are the higher tax rates. Now, my first concern, that my clients just don't think it applies to them because they don't make enough money. The Affordable Care Act, when it was pitched, Obama, you may remember him saying, I want the higher income Americans to pay their fair share or pay more tax. It's true that the highest literal tax brackets are increased in 2013. And that jump to the higher tax bracket really doesn't impact anybody who doesn't make approximately $400,000 of income. That's true. That won't impact most of my clients. But what does impact most of my clients is the backdoor tax increases. The jump to the higher tax bracket, if you make $400,000 or more, that's the front door tax increase. That as every Congress, Democratic and Republican, always do. They always put in backdoor, subtle, secret tax rate increases. And those kick in if you make gross, not even net, if you gross $250,000 if you're married or more. That is not that hard to hit. So many of my taxpayers, many of my clients, and many of you listening, I'm sure, are making together, with you and your spouse, more than $250,000 gross. You are going to be subject to these higher effective tax rates for 2013. So why am I saying this to you today? As I record this today, it is the beginning of July 2013. We're more than halfway through the year. That means you are more than halfway through owing more taxes. And my fear, again, is that you don't even know this is happening to you. You won't know it until you come see your tax preparer in April, or hopefully you come in January. Don't wait till the last minute and come see me in April. But you won't know until you get your taxes done, and then it'll be too late. A very unpleasant surprise. I've already met for tax planning, for 2013 tax planning, with two of my highest income taxpayers. And I had the unfortunate and very unpleasant task of telling them the results of their 2013 tax projection. It was a year that they made less money than 2012. Their W-2 was less, their earnings were less, but I had to tell them, you're going to write a bigger check to the IRS this year than you did last April. So I'm having to tell them you made less money, but you're going to pay more in tax. They don't understand that. You don't understand that probably. It just illogically, it does not make sense from a logic standpoint. Why would I pay more if I made less? That is the provisions of the backdoor tax rate increases of the Affordable Care Act for 2013. So I'm urging all of you listening to this, please go see your tax advisor. Yes, they will bill you, but please go see them. It will be worth it. You need to sit down with the tax professional. Have them run a 2013 tax projection for you and figure out what you're on course, because the year's already halfway over, if everything remains the same, on course to make this year, and what tax rate, effective tax rate, you will be in. You will be surprised. But the good news is there's still time. The year is only half over. There's still time to put in place, with the help of your tax professional, tax planning, very prudent, very smart, very fiscally responsible tax plans in place to mitigate this. There is planning opportunity despite the bad news I just mentioned. Us tax professionals go to just hours of continuing education on this subject to bone up on what is there we can recommend to our clients to help mitigate these higher effective tax rates in 2013. Some of them are a little out of the box, but that's okay. They're still legal and above board and creative. Go see your person, get some help, plan for this tax wave of increases. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you pretending I'm not Conan O'Brien, and thanks for listening, and have a great rest of the summer.